MMA fans, right now I'm here with Julian Erosa. Hello, sir. How are you today?
I'm doing fantastic. Thanks for having me on, brother.
Thank you for coming back. I was really looking forward to talking again with you since, man, you're coming off an authentic war with Steven Peterson in February. What do you recall from that fight?
Man, I just remember, the first round compared to the second round, almost felt like two different fights. The first round was, it was kind of a one-sided fight for me. I felt like I was picking them apart, doing really well, and then things kind of went out the window in the second round, and it became like, just a bit of a mess of a fight. But it's a fan. That's what fans like to see, and I enjoy doing that from time to time. And you know I felt like it was a really close fight, but I think I edged out by getting those takedowns at the end of the third round. And but yeah, man, I mean, honestly, the biggest thing I can take from that fight was just kind of playing it a little smart at the end and getting those takedowns and trying to solidify the win for myself.
Even though you don't like decisions, you took home a split decision that occasion. Were you surprised that he lasted to hear the judges' scorecard?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I wasn't surprised. Peterson's a tough kid. I've seen him. Obviously, we're studying our opponents right before we fight, but and most of his fights, he's just durable, very durable. So I knew he was going to be like that. And I mean, you never know until you get in the cage. But I landed that spinning back fist on him and dropped him, and I thought that could have been the end of it. And so I was a little surprised that he was able to take that heavy of a punch, especially a spinning back fist, because people don't see those coming. And I thought he was going to be done with that, but was able to persevere. And man, I'm just lucky I was able to get enough done in that fight to win by split decision, because it was a close fight.
And yeah, about that, what do you think about the fact that one of the judges gave him the victory? Were you surprised about that? I mean, of course, you were fighting, and perhaps at the moment you weren't thinking about, the scorecards. But rewatching the fight, do you believe that he did enough to win on that occasion?
No, I thought I won I thought I won the first and the third round. I thought I was like pretty clear, but like a lot of fighters say, is you don't want the fight to go to the decision, because the judges, you have no idea what they're seeing and what angle they're seeing. All the judges are at different angles. So one judge might see you land a good shot, and another judge, it could have been, they could have seen the backside of you and not seen how good that shot landed. So I'm sure they have TVs and they can see this stuff, but you just really don't know what is going on in these judges' heads. What they what their criteria is, what they're stronger about. Maybe they think wrestling's better than striking. So if you're doing more wrestling than striking, they might like you more. So I'm not surprised with the judging. I figured I beat him, unanimously, 29-28. But uh, you know, I don't want to be a judge for that specific reason. It's tough because you get flack on either side. So for me, I'm just happy they got the decision right, and that's why there's three guys there. I feel like most of the time, at least two of them, can see what really happened, and sometimes there's a judge in there that just kind of makes decisions, and you're just like a little confused by it. But they got it right for me, I think.
Yeah, and I believe also the majority of MMA media scored the fight in your favor.
Yeah.
Still, you took home a lot of money that night since your opponent missed weight, and of course your winning victory and your fight also received the fight of the night honors. Is there anything in particular you bought with that money?
Yeah, me and my wife, we got into a house, so we put a big down payment on that. I got a couple little toys. But honestly, I just try to be smart with my money, and I let my wife handle most of my finances, because if it was up to me, I'd probably buy a bunch of frivolous things. She's smart, and she, puts money towards things that are, going to appreciate in value, and kind of set us up for the rest of our lives. So, it was a lot more money than I anticipated getting, even if I would have got a $50,000 bonus. I was looking at, like, I think because he missed weight, that added another 60,000. I got 10,000 from his show money because of missing weight, and I also got the 50,000 that he missed out on because of missing weight. So it was an extra $60,000 more than I even anticipated for the best outcome. So it was really nice in that sense. And you know, people ask me if I felt bad for him for not receiving that money. It's like he probably didn't care when I was struggling to make weight. I'm a big featherweight, and so you know, it takes a lot for me to make the weight. And I'm sure he wasn't thinking twice about, you know, me dying in the sauna or me dying while I'm cutting weight. So you know, it's part of our job. It's the hardest part of our job, is to show up and make weight and be ready to fight the next day. And so so I don't feel bad at all for him. That's, you know, that's something that people, you should learn how to make weight and get that down at the regional level, at the amateur level. Once you get in the UFC, once you get to Bellator, once you get to some of these bigger organizations, there shouldn't be people missing weight. This makes no sense to me.
You took that fight on that occasion, you won, but still, were you upset a little bit when he missed weight?
You know, I think at first I was definitely upset. But once I heard, like, even once I talked to Sean, and Sean said that they were going to give me 30% of his show money, I was already pumped. I was like, man, you could, because I was already ready to fight Peterson. That's the fight I wanted, and it's the fight that I got. And so even though he missed weight by a few pounds, it wasn't substantial enough to like give him an advantage. I think when you talk about 5, 6, 7 pounds, like that can be a big advantage. But I looked at him, I seen that he tried making weight. He was sucked up. He tried killing himself to make the weight and just couldn't do it. And so I knew that it wasn't going to be that big of an advantage on his part. And so you could have given me a free coupon for a pizza and I would have still taken the fight, man. You know, so I've been preparing for that fight for 4 months and was just so dead set on going out there and putting on a performance that it didn't matter. You know, he missed the weight and I was upset at first, but once you know, hindsight is 2020, and then after, you know, after the fight, knowing what had happened because of that, I was so happy that he missed weight, man. You know, financially it really helped out. And fuck, man, I wish all my opponents would miss weight, because it only puts more money in my pocket.
That's an honest answer. I really like it. And of course, you don't strike me as the guy who turns fights down. Right now, you're booked to face Hakeem Dawodu on September the 10th. Your opponent is, you know, comes from a Muay Thai background, but in general, what do you expect from him going into this one?
Yeah, I think he's gonna show off some pretty clean, crisp striking, some good kickboxing. But I'm long and I'm unusual and awkward, and at any given time, you know, you see it in my fights. At any given time, I can just say fuck it and like make it a bit dirty and kind of just get in there and let it all hang out. And I think he doesn't do the best against those kind of guys. He does good when his striking's clean, but when people like really mix it up and get dirty, I think it can make some of the cleanest strikers get frustrated. And so that's kind of my ideas going in. I think I want to be as clean as I possibly can with him, but if I need to dirty it up, that's what I'm going to do. And I also need to mix it up. I need to mix the wrestling, the grappling, with my striking. You know, I think I'm a good striker in my own right. I'm tough and I'm durable, and I'm also like a bit wild in a sense. I mean, I don't think you've ever really seen Hakeem do that, where he just kind of, you know, throws his hands down and starts like just going for it. And there was that one time in Abu Dhabi he did that with that one guy who missed weight. But besides that, he's always a pretty clean striker. So I plan on trying to just frustrate him with my unusual striking and my pace and my persistence.
Can we expect another war from you?
You know, that's what my coaches like to say, that we should always put it in our A game and go out there and take as least damage as possible and go out there and dominate as much as we can. But I've always been a fan favorite myself anyway, so like there's something about fighting that just gets me that really revs me up in the sense of having a war. You know, I really enjoy those things. Like I don't even care, like the whole Peterson fight. I'm so glad the way it turned out. Like I just enjoyed that fight. I'm glad it went 3 rounds, and I'm glad we were able to just let it all hang out and really have the fans appreciate it and give us the fight of the night, because I think it was well deserved. But like I'm me as a fan, when I retire from fighting, I want to see those things. I love seeing those kind of fights. But then again, you know, you want to be smart as well. So I mean, it's kind of a fine line you got to draw, and I think you'll see me. I think you'll see the beginning of this fight be a bit more standard and a bit more technical. But at any given time, my coach likes to say that a fight might break out in an MMA match, and so I think you might see that happen. You know, halfway through the fight, if things aren't going ideally for me in trying to keep it technical, you might just see me throw everything out the window and get a little bit dirty in there. And who knows, that might eventually find itself into a crazy war. And I appreciate those things, and I would love it if Dawodu was down for that as well.
Yeah, I'm a little bit in a tough spot since, of course, I'm cheering as well to see a war, but at the same time, as you said, I'm also, I'm thinking about the fighters' health. So yeah,
yeah, for sure, 100%.
UFC 279 is headlined by the clash between Nate Diaz and Khamzat Chimaev. Your pick for this one, sir?
I mean, I think I stand with everybody in saying that I think that Chimaev is going to win this fight, but I'm always rooting for Diaz, man, just because he's like, yeah, he brings something to the sport. He brings that little bit of like thuggery to the sport, and I love it. But yeah, I think Chimaev is just too damn good, and he's too in his prime right now.
Sir, do you have any last messages?
I want to thank you for having me on. Obviously, I want to thank all the friends and family, even all of Dawodu's friends and family, because without them, they're also supporting us, even though I'm, his opponent. But just everybody that watches the UFC, everybody that watches me, just appreciate that. And obviously, I got to shout out to my management, Jason House at Iridium Sports Agency. Man, they do so much for me. If it wasn't for them, I probably wouldn't be back in the UFC. So I always got to shout them out because I'd probably be on some regional show fighting for pennies on the dollar if it wasn't for them. So always got to shout them out. And again, thank you for having me on.
It's always a pleasure speaking with you. Thank you again for giving us a little bit of your time today. Best of luck, and hopefully I'll hear again from you in the future, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, brother. You take care. Have a good rest of your day.
You too. Bye-bye.